Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, 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 never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away.
What's up, Khaled? I see you. Look like you unmuted. Nah, you still getting your stuff right. Looks like actually. Get your mic up, and then we waiting for a few more people. You know what I'm saying? I was just playing the intro shit for Fear of a Black Chat. I mean, I'm gonna play the instrumental. Oh, Khaled left again, or he got dropped. Hey, 216. Who's that? Is that Bobby? Who we got on the line?
Yes, sir.
What's up, man? How you
Yes,
feeling?
sir. It's me, 206. I'm good, bro. Just woke up. Shit.
Excellent, excellent. Like I said, man, feel like, and I say tasting it because you, most people gonna eat good food today at some point. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how they feel about whatever, typically they gonna eat something. Something good today. So the energy around you, the energy in your aura, when you can feel the vibe change. You know what I'm saying? But you can do simple things like feel the air just above your forearms. You see what I'm saying? Feel the air just above your back of your hand. You can feel the breeze of the air. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like when somebody feel a good breeze, or when you put your hand out the window in the car and you just let your hand just glide and ride. You know what I'm saying? Look like Khaled trying to jump back in. He might be having some problems with the phone or something. Um, the point is that when you feel the air just above your skin, you're feeling the energy around you. You're feeling your own aura and shit. And what that starts to let you do is you can start to flex your energy. You can start to project your thoughts out into that area, you know what I'm saying, right around you. And we do it naturally. Our thoughts are already floating around us. You see what I'm saying? They call thought forms. And it's just like a play on words, because form things. There he is. He getting on. You can unmute yourself with *6, Khaled.
Man, it took forever to try to set this shit up, man.
Yeah, but you here now, so
Yeah, man.
first time, first time will work, then it gets a little
And
easier.
I just had to switch over to the browser so
I
it
burned
would
them
allow
niggas.
me all my
I burned
permissions
them
or
niggas
whatever.
on PayPal, Sean.
What was that?
Said I had burned them niggas on PayPal when I got my dick kicked in on Forex last year because
Oh
I
yeah, that's
requested the
cool.
money back. I requested the money back from the nigga who was trading from me, and shit, I got that back, bitch. Send a complaint in on me.
Oh wow.
Fuck that.
Now,
I need something.
Bobby, just to let you know, we'll let everybody know as they get in. Once again, we live streaming, so realistically, we're making sure that everybody can, jump in on this conversation about, how we doing the next thing with the big podcast more and more. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna
Sorry about
start.
that, Kenny.
No, you good as long as you good. You dig what I'm saying? As long as you
Huh?
good, it's all right with me. You dig me?
Yes.
Like it's fear of a black chat. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have you on to talk about some stuff too, but this is fear of a black chat where it's really about people being afraid to have a conversation with their motherfucking self about things that they don't recognize, understand, things that challenge them, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's also just the unknown. So, some people need to understand Forex. Some people need to understand, what I'm saying? Like, hey, you can take it, but you can still get back right. So it's no big deal what anybody really says on here. You know what I mean? That's just what I want to call it. That's just a little
Okay.
catalyst for somebody else or for you to be able to do what you trying to do. You dig?
Yeah.
You over here talking
Mhm.
about wins or getting back right like that because that's exactly what's happening right now. Everything is this is the moments that everybody's been waiting for, but they didn't fully know that this moment is here. And they got to relearn how to assert their own willpower. They got to relearn how to flex their energy subtly and get that luck that they've had their whole life, or you know, get away from things that was once quote pulling them down, or bad luck. So, like I said, we in a really good position, but it's going to take a while for some people to realize how good of a position they're in before they just start hitting licks naturally.
Definitely down for that, bro.
100.
So
100.
we get to it. We're gonna get straight to it. What I'm gonna do is I'm still wait for some more people to join on, at least one more person before we fully get into the more and more thing. It'll probably be Ari. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Ari, the artist, will probably be jumping on. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and get it cracking because I know that he wants to talk about some key things as well. You know what I'm saying? And this will be content for the more and more podcast going forward. So what we talk about today with regards to more and more of the podcast, whether it's more and more Atlanta, more and more Chicago, more and more Houston, more and more LA. You see what I'm saying? Those are the ones we starting off with first. So it is for us to, take that and we're gonna run with it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do weekly shows. We can switch off between, more and more Chicago hosting. You know what I'm saying? We can switch off with any of the different areas, and then that way, even when cats are like, "Yo, I don't know any mores out here," or in general, if they're just trying to rep for their city, you know what I'm saying, while they getting their own personal learn on, they can understand that, yo, I got somebody I at least can reach out to that's up in Chicago, that's in Atlanta, that's in LA, that's in Houston, and we gonna do the damn thing for them in the sense that there's too much good stuff out there for people to still have to feel that it's a super struggle to walk this bullshit off their shoulder. You know what I'm saying? To get the chips off their shoulder, to realize that they really got the juice already and they're just figuring out subtle ways of using it that they've done plenty of times before, but they're like, oh, that's what that was. Like when you see the little floaties in your eye and you think you special. Oh, okay, that's simple shit. Everybody can do that. Oh, okay, well, shit. What do I do with it? Oh, I make it do this, or I make it do whatever I'm thinking in my mind. Like we've forgotten why our melanin was so special. We forgot why we talk so much shit about having melanin. You know what I'm saying? Like the melanin allows you to tap in and do some amazing shit. That's why niggas dance the way they do. That's why we always making something out of nothing. That's why you can cook up something that probably most people gonna say ain't good for you, but grandmama made that shit good for you and you thrived off of it. You was able to maintain off of that shit. You see what I'm saying? And now that we going further into 5D or whatever somebody wants to say is special, the 11 gateway for this weekend, the eclipse on on July 5th, Sunday, 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like, them things is really just you being able to hook up to your energy and move it around, pull it in, absorb it, send it out, transform it however you please. And the only tricks are mental. You know what I'm saying? So you might trick yourself thinking that you're wearing your favorite underwear today. You know what I'm saying? You might trick yourself by thinking that it's just Sirius is in greater alignment with our sun, so we get more energy today. You see what I'm saying? Like, we know. What'd you say, Bobby? What you say?
No,
All right. Well, like I said, it's the fact of the matter that we can give ourselves all the reasons. We can explain it till we blue in the face. You know what I'm saying? Once again, Sirius, the sun behind the sun, is gleaming more direct light and energy down into our earth through our sun. And the ancestors is coming on, riding the waves of the light from the sun, and they energizing us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can be funny with it, but what does that look like? Your uncle might come to your mind today. You know what I'm saying? You might just find that you can get in the groove a little easier today. You might feel like, you might feel a little bit more on edge today. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, there's plenty of reasonings behind that. We can talk about supposed memes out on the internet. We can talk about, oh, this one's going to do this and that one's going to do that. Only thing that matters, especially at this point, if you have a soul, if you control yourself and somebody else ain't controlling you, then you can move your mind to whatever area of feel good, have fun that you want. And you can kind of tap into that energy. You know what I'm saying? You can tap in more to your aura. You can tap more into just, man, I'm gonna have fun today, period. I don't care why everybody else is out. You know what I'm saying? They're out because the energy, the vibration has raised, you know what I'm saying, over the last 2, 3 days. And yes, they've been preconditioned to feel that today is this particular day, or feel whatever way about that day. You see what I'm saying? But it still means the energy, the juice is loose, just like a Halloween. Don't nobody care what you dressed up for as Halloween, as your Halloween costume. All we all know is there's a lot more energy going on during Halloween time. That's what these holidays come down to. We can stack the layers and call it Swiss cheese. We can stack the layers, call it patriotism. We can stack the layers and call it, no, it's a solstice equinox energy alignment of trifecta. We can go there easily, and we can make it make sense to us, but we can also just feel the energy through running through our veins, running through our bones, and we can tell there's something different, you know what I'm saying, in the air. And as I said, it is 11 gateway. 11 is a master builder number. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you have to have life path number this and your numerology has to line up perfectly. Nah, you just go within and then you start sending your energy out, sending your thoughts where you want to be, where you are. You go into that memory, or you go and create a new place in your mind, and you're getting ready to go ride out with the homies. You're getting ready to go hit the beach. You know what I'm saying? Or you're just sitting there with a red solo cup, chilling on some brown. It's the same stuff over and over again, and that's why when a dude can sit there and imagine what that girl, what it do, what it look like, when the girl is already imagining the dude anyway, in whatever way she sees him, that's where she knows if she gonna mess with you or not, because she's already there. She'd already taken her mind there. Do I fuck with this dude? Oh no, that dude cool. And you like, oh, okay. And the same thing with the dude. He looking at the chick. Would I fuck with that? Yeah, I would in this circumstance. Yeah. Or yeah, I fuck with her the long way. We know what it's already like, and we do it every day, but we don't do it with enough attention or awareness to how much energy or what we're doing. And all we got to do is learn how to kind of pulse out our thoughts, how to feel certain things with our nervous system. You know what I'm saying? That's that 5-pointed star still. So we still talking more science. That's still that love, peace, truth, freedom, and justice. You know what I'm saying? It's still arm, leg, arm, head. It's still the 5 points of man. It's still the 5 senses. You know what I'm saying? It's still the pentagram. You know what I mean? You're either pulling energy down, you're sending energy up, but any direction that you're dealing with energy, it's just your mind figuring out what does it mean to you or assigning that meaning and making it do what it do, make that energy do what it do. So I like to be funny about it and be like, I don't care if you take a piss. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to still feel that energy and be like, man, I'm sending this energy out, obviously. Damn, I was holding for a while before I could hit the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? I'd be stupid with it. You know what I mean? Like, using the bathroom is one of the second greatest feelings that most people can ever feel on this earth. The feeling of release, gratification. You know what I'm saying? At a certain level.
100.
You know what I'm saying? So the only other one that beats that out is an orgasm. But people still don't know how to use all that energy because it's too much energy. We know how to use weed and pull that weed and then use the energy from the weed. We know we can sit back in that chair and chill and let that energy just flow through us. So like I said, that method of feel the air just above your forearms. Notice the air just above, the back of your hand. What that does is it puts your mind in a focused place. You know what I'm saying? Most people can start to meditate better if they initiate it through um, some version of polarity, as within, so without. Taking quick stock of myself. How do I feel in my skin? Oh, I can feel the air around me. It feels nice and cool. I can feel a slight breeze. Okay, cool. Now my mind is clearer and I'm meditating and I can get more into my zone, let alone everything around me, the way I feel about it, the way I feel about the trees swaying outside the window, the way I feel about the slight breeze inside. Now I can start to connect energies and I can start to symbolically make them mean something to me. So the little slight breeze that's just brushing over my forearms and my the front of my hand, the top of my hand. Okay, cool. That breeze now means I remember, being in Long Beach, California, cruising down the street. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm in a whole different place. I'm already astral traveling. You see what I'm saying? Or remote viewing, or I'm going back in time into a memory. So now I build with the shit. I rock with it. Am I listening to a song? You know what I'm saying? Like, just listen to this, y'all. Just vibe with this. Hold on. Let me get you this way.
Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, 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 never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you, never gonna let you get away.
Now you can zone to that. Anybody can zone to that. Anybody can zone to any music. You know what I'm saying? So where did you go? What's your mind do while you was listening?
I just definitely freestyle to that shit.
Okay. So you put your own, you put your stink on that shit, then. And I need a freestyle from you over that. We're gonna make that happen.
It would
You know
have
what
to
I'm saying? It don't have
it
to be
would have
today.
you have to
Right there.
you have to play the beat again.
For sure. Yeah, of course, man. Where'd your mind go? What'd you do?
Got them air going in this car. Ugh.
What people say? Oh.
Uh,
So where'd you go in your head? You were just listening to that.
uh,
Where'd you go in your head while you were
I was just letting my mind explore. It. Just even my low vibration. The things that I like when I'm in my low vibration. Shit, they like this. You let your mind explore. Get that red solo cup and the light skin whore. Shit.
You got my right next to me, man. I'm over here laughing, reaching for something. I ain't even got it right. Like I said, it's time for people to have more fun. We do it naturally. We have fun in our minds all the time. We bust out in the song. You know what I'm saying? Just rolling down the beat. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the beat of life or whatever. Man. Like they'll sit there and tell us all this stuff about ancestors, the beat of your heart, the I got that loyalty and royalty inside my DNA. Okay.
Yeah, that. And that song, man, when that song first came out, I mean, I heard it on the radio, but not a lot. But when
Yeah.
I only really listened to that song about maybe 5 or 6 times, and that bitch used to bang everything because I was feeling the words dude was saying, and that shit the truth though. Like that's just an amazing thing in itself to just know once you could tap into that, I like to call it Christ consciousness. When you got that glow, you do that.
That
Don't
Negro
hit them with
glow.
the truth,
That shit
right?
up. We old. We all old on this chat. You know how you feel when you hear that shit on The Last Dragon. And you've been watching
Yeah.
that motherfucker all day. Man, that shit, like, I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about that shit.
Yeah. Yo, that
Hey,
movie
I'm definitely gonna go listen to that shit when I get home.
exactly, and that's how you get in that zone. Put yourself there, and then the feelings of how you feel in that zone, mentally, how you feel, how you looking at life at that moment. That's that energy that pulls things towards you. That's how you. That's another method of manifesting. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to clear your mind and being able to chill after whatever amount of what's going on today. And we all got them things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know what they can do when they get home. They can pop on some TV show. You got all these streaming TV shows and movies. You got access to the internet, but it's the fact that we usually are in a position where people are taking our attention, pointing us to something to make us to it, versus we're not doing enough of putting our intention on something. If I take my mind and I put my mind on, you know, riding a motorcycle, cool. I'm there in my mind. What that does, it literally calms the rest of the body. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm thinking about leaning into that curve, I ride. So if I lean into the curve, I know what that feels like. And if I take myself there, my whole mind and my whole spirit will shift. If I take my mind and I think about uh, a particular other type of energy, like if I think about a video game, like The Last of Us, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get the energy of what that video game is all about. That's the trick for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what, even from the perspective of being a Moor, you're really keeping your mind on where you're taking yourself, where you're navigating. You know what I'm saying? Inside yourself or outside in the physical realm. But then we all know that people deal with others trying to dictate how you feel or dictate what you have to experience. And that's what sovereignty is all about. Sovereignty is to control your energy state. You know, and a lot of people are in a position where they can understand that your state, the English state, the vast state of the land, the vast state of whatever, it really is you first and foremost. So if what they say, he who magically controls, you know what I'm saying? And we got someone else. All right there. 404, Atlanta. I see you. Hit *6 to unmute when you're ready. But my point still becomes, even as a Moor, even as whatever it is that you have learned that you are for yourself, realistically, you're controlling your energy state, which is a state. It is the E state, that energy state of your mind. So if someone sits there and says, yo, I'm cooking up pancakes, and you can take your mind there and think about pancakes and be like, damn, I'm hungry. Well, your attention just went into that area. You know what I'm saying? So now let's make it more relevant to how some people see, certain aspects of Moor. So, okay, everyone have seen videos where some cop is talking to some, Moor or someone else that might be stateless on the land. Well, in many cases, they may not know what they're doing, but they have been trained to interact with people certain ways. And the ways that they were trained to be interacting with us, it does certain things. What does it do? It hits you in your chakra. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Because chakras are this, that, and the third, and this is what a chakra does. Okay, that's great. But when someone is talking to you or approaching you in a certain way, they're usually hitting your root chakra to try to make you feel some kind of way about survival, the physical aspect of it. They're usually trying to hit you with words, with thoughts in your solar plex to try to break your will. You see what I'm saying? So when people talk about standing on the square and things of that nature, you're still just really dealing with what's called symbology. And it's like, well, what does the square mean to me? What do I understand the square to mean? You know what I'm saying? How do I relate that to, I'm here in the body as a consciousness. I'm moored into the body. You know what I'm saying? I'm moored into the body. I'm the Moor. I'm the Lord of this earth. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, if someone comes up to me and is trying to interact with me as if they are a state trooper or police or whomever or a sheriff, well, me knowing who I am, I already then know who they are. or I can better understand who they are and how I need to interact with them. It's not to be complex. It's just saying if you can reference yourself first, well, then you know they are very aware of you usually being a Moor. Whether they are going to chump you and try to walk up on you like you black, you know what I'm saying? There should be no fear of a black chat. And if there is a fear of a black chat, which just means fear of having a conversation with yourself or having a conversation with someone else when there's some unknown things popping off. So I'll give you a good example. I got into a like a little fender bender. I had the other person, they decided they wanted to make the call to call in, for an accident report from the police. We all know that's contracting, no big deal, no big complexity to it. So I let him call in the contract because I didn't need to. It wasn't necessary for me. You see what I'm saying? Sheriffs come. In this particular county, the sheriffs came. Cool. What's up? How you doing? Yeah, this is my ID. Okay. But knowing myself, I don't have to feel some kind of way about a driver's license versus my ID because I know which one outranks what. And as the words were said to us many times, your ID, your nationality card will change in your pocket. Why? Because the way you understand it will change. The way that you feel about it will change. The way that that energy represents itself will change, and you'll be able to speak to it from a completely different perspective. You know what I'm saying? So as I even handed my joint, you know, they was looking at me like, oh, what's up, man? How you doing? Why? Because even my energy, just me rolling and walking up to them, is completely different than the average person. So they already know you're different. They can tell who is a person that is programmed, that typically has no soul or the soul is very suppressed, and they can tell where someone has this energy to them. You know what I'm saying? So standing on the square is still you being able to pulse out your own energy or control your own estate. So they can tell who has more control over the estate versus someone who has no clue what it is. You see what I'm saying? It's this other phrases of the culture is in the language. Well, culture means behavior. So the behavior is in the language. I can be like, what's up, shouty? You see what I'm saying? I can say what it do. That shit right there. You see what I'm saying? Like we can all do all that stuff and we do it naturally to the point where we goddamn, you got weathermen and news anchors trying to show, oh, I'm cool. I say it this way. I said this word. And we're looking at them like, since when? Since when? Who is you? What? And it's funny. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, for other people, they can still catch it and feel it, but they get used to it a little bit more. Versus we know this person on TV is fronting like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So when you are dealing with anybody, they're automatically reading your letter, reading your writ, reading your body language. You know what I'm saying? Just because we don't necessarily approach it the same way doesn't mean that someone else doesn't comprehend that thing. It would be the same thing as being like, oh, because a girl wears a weave, she can't be woke. She can't be conscious. She can't know some whatever bit of information. It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? That's us kind of like making the world a little bit more of what we don't want it to be for even ourselves. Because I don't know nobody that really want to deal with some bullshit, personally. So like I said, even as dealing with those sheriffs and later dealing with that Georgia State trooper, I personally I just be me. Me being me, when someone comes at me, oh, you need a driver's license. No, I don't. I actually am quite aware that it is not necessary for me. You know what I'm saying? Then they're going to respond and they're going to try to shift your energy. You know what I'm saying? Whether you say someone's trying to make you upset or whatever, you know what I mean? Whether they're trying to push your buttons or make a catalyst or escalate the situation or whatever. So even in the midst of a basic conversation, you can tell if someone's trying to play you. You know what I'm saying? You can tell if someone is digging for certain things, and you may not know every single thing to handle, but you're going to learn certain simple stuff to where you know what that does if you approach it from the perspective of a banana being a tangerine. You know you're going to sound like an idiot if you're calling a banana and picking it up and saying, "Yeah, I'm just getting this tangerine right quick." People are going to look at you like, "That's a banana, dog." What you going to say? You're going to be like, "Oh, no, no, it's just a yellow long tangerine." They know at that point that they've trained you to use the word tangerine for those situations. That's what people get when they keep calling a mercenary, you know what I'm saying, a private corporate, mercenary for hire. When you call them an officer, it's literally a verbal contract. It's not to get deep. It's just saying, look what you're calling it. You're the one. Power of life and death is in the tongue. You're the one where, as a man thinketh, so he becomes. So we all know all these funky little, sayings, but ultimately, when it comes time to, be what we really are, most people they can do it at a certain swag. They can be comfortable to a point, and where everything is shifting right now, whether we call it the eclipse over this weekend, whether we call it 4th of July, whether we call it Sirius, whatever, there's a lot more power and energy that is available to you to just be who you are. And by doing that, everything that you're already, been plotting, your plans, your whole swag is going to continue to shift and change, evolve, and you're going to naturally get stronger, you know what I'm saying, and present yourself more as who you really are. You know what I'm saying? There'll still be
Mm-hmm.
growth point, but you know what I'm saying, that's where we get to take care of business and handle owning ourselves, owning the estate, managing the estate, understanding that we don't have to get that mad. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to react a certain way. We can react however we want to, and it's going to throw the other party off, or it's going to put the other party into check, because when they come at you a certain way and you just being the noble, whether it's the noble metal that doesn't really react volatilely, because we are the gold and silver. You see what I'm saying? We are part and parcel to the land. We are connected to the rich minerals of the earth and this, that, and the third. But it's just an extension of you, and you're choosing how you manage that estate, that energy state at your root chakra for survival and basic physical needs. Yeah, we know some people is talking shit and trying to challenge you. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you brittle at times, but it's knowing yourself and knowing that you already got this. So everybody else is just trying to trick you to not have it, to not be sitting on it, to not be the one in control over it. You know what I'm saying? And if they can get you to move your energy into that area the way that it serves them, getting upset or whatever, versus sending the right response, or not even the right response. I don't like saying it that way. I would better say sending a response that has more of your attention on it and how you want it to hit. So even at that point, dealing with local corporations, no matter who they are, if you're going to send your girl to go get her nails done, you might send a basic letter flat out letting them know who and what you are, so that there's no confusion, and you're not to be taxed. You're not to be charged. You're not to be, treated this way. You don't have to wear a mask. But it's an affidavit, and it's your energy already coming to them and saying, I know what you are. I know what I am. This is what it is. This is what it's going to be. And if we deviate from that, then this is what it's going to be. You're on my land. You know that you came from whatever foreign place. You see what I'm saying? Or you count yourself as a U.S. citizen. That's awesome. But it just dropped off too. He jumping back in. This is going to get chopped up. Yes, we live streaming right now, but this is chopped up for some content later on. Khaled, let me know when you are back. I want a little bit more about more and more and what's gonna be. If you didn't hear me, Khaled, go ahead and unmute and talk to us a little bit more about what more and more is and what it's gonna be.
Say that one more time.
I want you to tell us what more and more is, like introduce it, and then tell us a little bit about what it's going to be.
Oh man, it's going to be a little bit of everything. Podcast. Hopefully, the podcast of all podcasts. Something that we can, take and build upon. Take the foundation and build upon. Hopefully, um, show people that they can be who they want to be, despite knowing who they really are. Transitioning from being in the public and being a subject into being a free sovereign. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's actually free, and
Tell us what that
that has
means.
that has no boundaries, that has no look, uh, no certain uniform. Uh, itself. Go ahead. My bad. I didn't. I heard you trying to say something.
No, no, I don't know. I don't know what you heard, but I was just listening because you hitting it on the head. Keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, we just want to have a little summit. I don't know if we're gonna do this thing weekly, daily yet. I don't know, but a summit. That we just come and just talk our shit. Share information. Have fun, clown, listen to some music, all of that. It's gonna be all of that wrapped in one, but at the same time, we're gonna know who the hell we is. We're gonna talk about some stuff, and we're gonna talk about a lot of shit, but we're gonna talk about all of this shit from a place of knowing, not wondering, not spreading conjecture or opinions and stuff like that. You know, we come
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in on that right there. Then
in. Go ahead.
one of the things with more and more to build on what Khaled just said. Yeah, we're still gonna have fun. We're still gonna talk about various things that are occurring, but it's gonna be able to give people a little bit more orientation to how do they be more than they are in this situation. You see what I'm saying? If they so choose to. You know what I mean? If you want to have more freedom or if you want to better be able to live free, we'll talk about those different aspects, you know what I mean, and make them realistic, make them something that we can take a real topic and talk about methods of approach, things that obviously play a part in the situation, so that you can see more and more of what's going on and what you can make it be. Because if you are someone that is obviously interested, called for it, or just you are that person that knows that they should dig into this information or understand this a little bit more, or be more free, or understand their nationality more, um, understand what it means to be able to stand on the square, or go beyond just the normal uniform, like Khaled said, going beyond just the normal way of thinking about something, going beyond just the regular um, topics, or going beyond just the regular concepts of, what does that mean? Well, it means a lot more than I'm black and I'm proud. And that's not a diss. That's just saying that when you really start to comprehend what it is and what you are, then you can really be as free as you need to be, to just be who and what you are and express yourself. And you'll naturally just continue to get more. connected with what you already are, and you'll still be feeling the same growths. You'll still be feeling the aha moments. You'll still be feeling the wonder of, making connections, cosmologically, spiritually, law, all those 5 points of light, love, being connection, one way of explaining that definition of love, connectedness. You see what I'm saying? Polarity is already there. All these things that many people are learning now, or are taking to new heights. These are the things that we're going to definitely go in on with the more and more, shows, podcasts, events, you know what I'm saying? And that's where we're going to be taking it. It's not just a podcast. It's more and more and more of being able to tap into your energy, to be able to tap into who you are and then live it out more and more. I wish we
True
had that
indeed.
that
True indeed.
audio clip, man.
No, I said true indeed. Go ahead. What you about to say?
I was saying I wish we had that audio clip. Remember the audio clip from Stevie Wonder joint?
Oh, right. To play it right now. Um, yeah, I mean, I wish I would have had it prepared. You know what I'm saying? To play right now. We'll get there. But
Oh,
yeah,
it's all good. We gonna
go ahead.
chop it up after this. This is just the live stream right here. This the one where we still recording it so that we can chop it up and make that more and more drop into that audio snippet. You feel me?
Oh, you gonna edit this later?
Yeah,
Okay.
just like you
100.
make the song. These your instrumentals right here. These your tracks and your layers. You just gonna chop this up and then you're gonna be able to make, a drop. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be able to make a quick intro. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be able to say, oh, I'm putting it on Instagram as a little quick video with a background and this little snippet of us talking about this. You know what I mean?
Got it. You know, I'm still getting used to this. I like the little setup though. I'm still trying to, I'm clicking around every now and again and learning little things about this. But yeah, I like the platform, all that.
We streaming on YouTube at the same time, so it just makes it easier for people to be able to jump on, enjoy. Like there's a guest in here right now. They're not connected to the mic and all that stuff, but there's a guest 19. They can sit there and talk to us via chat. You know what I'm saying? Guest 19, say what's up. Feel free to throw your name out if you're just listening. If you got questions, please throw them in there. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for Bobby or Ari or anybody else. We could sit there and still have them post questions in the chat. We can still talk live about what we had already planned about. You know what I'm saying? We can still let it live stream to YouTube. We can later premiere it, through YouTube. We can take the video, pull it down, edit it up just like you editing a song. You know what I'm saying? Pull out a part, make that into a little snippet for Instagram. You know what I mean? That type of
Yeah.
thing. So we got a lot of abilities. You know what I mean? What else you got planned for more and more?
Say that one more time. What was that question?
What else you got planned for the more and more, you know, um, brand and whatnot, the more and more experience?
I mean, like I said, that's what I'm hoping we build upon. It's there's no holds barred at this point. Whatever comes, whatever people want to suggest. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say we're gonna hold on to every idea because that would just be insane. But whatever people throw at the wall and we get to stick.
We're gonna hear.
But it's
Go ahead.
it's gonna be some comedy mixed in with some some music. We're gonna be debuting some music on here sometimes. You know, some local talents wherever in whatever market that we are broadcasting from, as well as it's not just gonna be anything. Of course, it's gonna be stuff that we deem beneficial and stuff that can build the nation up. Of course, uh, like I said, some comedy, a little bit of a little bit, what I'm saying, a little bit of everything. Whatever talents come our way, we're gonna try to showcase them in whatever way we can find it to be uh, beneficial. Like I said, to the nation and building that up. Uh, Anybody that's got any type of Moorish owned businesses, we gonna promote them as much as we can. You know,
Okay, so we can do
uh,
some interviews of people that own those types of businesses.
oh yeah, for sure. Have some interviews on there. That makes it different, for us to have content, interviewing people. Uh, just a little bit of everything, man. We want to make this, like any other podcast, and show people that we people just like any other people. We ain't perfect. We ain't trying to be perfect. We ain't trying to be holier than thou. We just know who we are. This ain't no religion. None of that stuff. This ain't about to be nothing like most people want to think Moors are. Or who they are. Like you are more by bloodline and descent. You know what I'm saying? You have no choice in the matter. That's your pedigree. You know what I'm saying? So who are you aside from knowing who you are? All right, well be that. You know what I mean? It's no, we ain't trying to have no cookie cutter fakeness up here. So it's really like I said, whatever people can bring, whatever value we can bring to each show, each to any to just to the brand itself. You know what I'm saying, and build upon that. We really don't know what it could be right now. We have an idea, but we really don't know what it all will be when it's clicking and moving on all cylinders. So yeah, man. I got a brief overview of what I want it to be. Of course, I just want it to be a radio show that brings a little bit of everything to light and showcases talents and faces and voices that usually don't get a platform to do that on. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay, okay. I can definitely dig it. I like that it's very open in that way. Uh, I think one of the things that we're going to also do is we're going to still make some calls out to the key areas like the Houstons, the Atlantas, the LAs, the Chicagos. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a really important thing that I do want to get out verbally, and that is it's time for people to be more of who they really are, not who they think somebody wants them to be, not, you know, representing just because, but really being able to do you. And even while we're doing that, a lot of things are going to get brushed off of us. A lot of dirt's going to come up off of us. A lot of things are going to burn off. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things are going to slim up and become more true to what they really are. The masks are off. You know what I'm saying? And even if you do shapeshift into, another version of yourself, it's still you. It's still you. So, in that same vein of, oh, what people think Moors are, what people think black is, so on and so forth, it's still showing you there's more and more to this thing. This thing is endless. It does move like an infinity sign. Think about any energy moving through that infinity sign, and you can see how you're always dealing with new growth energy. You're never going to be perfect. Perfect means to mature or to continue to change. You know what I'm saying? And um, at the end of the day, you know, I'm still going to say it simply. If you have a soul, you're going to continue to evolve forever. You're an immortal. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a soul, then at that point, we're going to see many people that have physical bodies but are not exactly souled beings. And you're going to be able to see more and more who's just programmed, who just has to go with only what's given to them. Just like a computer can only do what you tell a computer is possible to be done, and that they as that computer can do it. Because if you tell a computer that it cannot do something, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't have the instructions to go beyond what it is.
Right.
Okay. And that into some subject matters that, some topics that sometimes we just got to be a little bit more of the homie and talk to your peoples just a little bit more direct. You know what I mean? We have within us not only greater abilities than we have typically known, we have more ways of understanding ourselves And we know that many people are studying. We know many people are being introduced to crystals and to this and to that and the third. It's not just one angle on that circle. It's not just one dimension to that circle. So people are going to get a lot of information through the more and more um, experience that we're going to be doing events. So we're going to call out Houston and we're going to throw some events flat out. Okay. We're going to throw some events in Atlanta. We're going to throw some events in every one of those major markets that we said earlier. And, LA, Chicago, Houston, Atlanta, those are the starts. You know what I'm saying? Um, Being able to better assist within those local markets, being able to approach living and being free, you know what I'm saying? Being able to approach, being able to have more fun and enjoy ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a part of growth too. Like a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with is the pent up energy that's been so stagnant for so many years, so it does have people in their feelings at times. It does have people drowning in that feeling, in that energy, but all that is it's some part of the energy in your chakras. It's some part of your consciousness to be in this place where you feel like, man, I'm upset or I feel scared or whatever. And what it is it's 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 simply a disconnection with yourself, meaning you have enough power to be able to go and put yourself in the exact experiences that you want, whether you do them in your mind or whether you're doing it through the physical interactions. And that's going to span a lot of different topics right there. Manifestation, it's going to bleed into topics like how do you deal with administrators or belligerent servants. You know what I'm saying? It's going to deal with how do you action your estate. How do you use your own resources? How do you keep someone from committing usury against you? You know what I'm saying? Because it is usury to use resources that are not yours. It is usury, to squat on somebody else's land. And every piece of land, it already belongs to the nationals. It doesn't belong to the stateless persons. It doesn't belong to those making claims through foreign bills of exchange and foreign documents. You see what I'm saying? Because the only people that have control over the estate and over reality, you know what I'm saying, would be the actual people with souls. So that doesn't just, stop at Moors. That is absolutely coming from the Moors in that bloodline and that royalty, that crown purple chakra royalty and nobles. You know what I mean? But everyone is still, everyone that has a soul is still absolutely maturing, and they're coming out of a cocoon almost like a butterfly. They're coming out at their own pace. They're breaking through in their own way. You know what I'm saying? They're figuring out how to move those wings and make their energy do what it do in their own way. You know what I'm saying? And more, they're figuring it out. So we're gonna, assist with that by still having fun because that's a big part of, you know, taking the mask off and just being who you are. It's really time to have more fun. You know what I mean? Having more fun means that you're still putting your attention in places where you know you can win, places where you're breaking out, places where you're learning and you're finding your curiosities. You're sensing your awareness. You know what I mean? But there's simple methods that we can absolutely do. There's simple ways to approach the information so it doesn't have to be so tedious. You know what I mean? And ultimately, that just means that the things that you're interested in any given moment, boom, the song comes into your mind, you just bust out singing some some uh some Candy Rain from Soul for Real. My love, do you ever dream? You know what I'm saying? You just go in. And these are things we do naturally. We do it all the time. But once again, us being able to do it and know ourselves, know what we can do with our thoughts. That's what scares people. That's why they've been stacked against the concept of a more. They took every concept that really leads to us being in control over our own thoughts and mind, and they told you don't do it. Don't say don't go into the subconscious. Don't go into the darkness. Be afraid of darkness. Oh, the word more, I'm going to put it into movies and I'm going to call the character Mordecai. And I'm usually going to make that character a bad person or an immoral person, per se. And what that does is it gets people caught up. So a lot of things that they've read and listened to, movies they've watched, they've been served up, a symbol in a way that they were told this is what this means. And I use that example of tangerine again. Most people, they've been taught that this means this. And you've heard it with I think it was Shakespeare or something like that. Would a rose by any other name smell so? You know what I'm saying? So when people are taught that something means this and they've been trained on that since their youth, they have to figure out for themselves. And that can be a little challenging because each person created their specific challenge. They specifically crafted what areas they would have to figure things out from. You know what I'm saying? What angles they would need to come for it to work for themselves. And no one else can, quote unquote, or really teach you anything. They can present you with something that you can then figure out how to use for yourself in your own situation. And just by us being able to have more fun, be more who we are, talk about methods such as just feel the air above your forearms, feel the air above your the backs of your hand, and you can start to tap into the Akashic records. You can start to tap into your DNA. You can start to tap into controlling your aura. You know what I'm saying? You can calm yourself down. You can take yourself wherever you want to go by tapping into your own awareness, into your own five senses. You know what I'm saying? And you can start to then take that energy and direct it where you want to go. And you can start to get answers. You can start to perform miracles. You can start to manifest things. So there are many methods in books, many methods, books, and other teachers' information that we're going to share so that you can look at it from whatever angle you see fit and be able to figure out more and more than ever before. Be able to make it work for you more efficiently, be able to get your swag on, you know what I mean? Hop up out that bed, turn my swag on, take a look in the mirror, say what's up. Whether you're trying to get money or whether you're just trying to get that peace that you so much desire, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're trying to follow your heart and do what you feel that you really need to do for yourself. That's the only way that people get to really break through. And once again, many people from this July 4th, 2020, I'm aware of the cosmological stuff, and there's stuff that you can see all over the internet that talks about these things in terms of, yeah, there are alignments going on. Yeah, the planets are doing this and the eclipse is doing that. It does not rule over you. It just gives you the opportunity to tap into this energy or take your mind where you want to go and use your mind to power whatever you want your world to shift into. You are the holographic projector. You don't just live in a holographic universe. If you have a soul, you are the holographic projector, and everything around you is like, it's like being in your own world, your own force field, which is your own aura, which is nothing but the energies layered that are your consciousness. So if we say we're conscious, if we say we know about chakras, we're learning the layers of ourselves, and we're learning how to make those different pieces work together so that you don't have to sit there and yell at nobody. You don't have to go pay for groceries at Publix. Why? Because you know who you are and you're part and parcel with the land. So anything moving, rolling on your land, anything that does business on your land, you're in the position to administrate your own estate, administrate your own
Yep.
resources, and no foreigner gets to say, "Oh no, that'll be $33.95. Oh, plus tax."
Right.
It doesn't work that way unless you make it work that way. And we did quote unquote create certain things so that those things would execute what they needed to execute. You either have a counterfeit spirit or you have a souled being. Now, for some people, they're going to take it to the ego side and they're going to, oh, no, this person doesn't have a soul and this. I'm not here to say whether you can figure that out or whether you can't figure that out. Go ahead and try. Figure it out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because some people you're going to figure out they don't have souls. And other people you are going to figure out, wow, their soul is just dormant, or their soul has been repressed by DNA traumas and experiences that
Right.
they've had through their life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're not going to care, and it won't matter to you if they have a soul or not, because you still will be reflecting what's within yourself, and you'll be doing it the way that you need to do it. Whether you're a celebrity and you talk about Moors, but you do know about Moors, and you know that you are a Moor. You see what I'm saying? Whether you're a celebrity that does choose to talk about Moors, you see what I'm saying? It is still kind of one of those things where we got to have some conversations with ourselves. We got to pick up on some stuff that we're aware of within ourselves, but we're choosing not to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Even down to many things that Moors go through when they're learning and going through that period of absorbing all this new information. You know what I mean? Oftentimes we want the benefit, but we don't often understand why we're not getting the benefit at that moment. And that's still a personal thing. The only one that's keeping you from abundance or prosperity or happiness is self. So we can blame someone else and get caught up in the polarity game, or we can go within and see the whole picture and say, oh, it's all working together, and I see how I keep reacting to it or thinking about it, and how that's affecting how it keeps moving forward. Okay, so when a Moore talks to me and says study, 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 we're going to still visualize that, and we're going to share content through the more and more, brand, through the more and more shows, through the more and more events. You know what I'm saying? So if we want to be able to go out and have a good time, we know what we can do. We've been doing it for years. You know what I'm saying? Now we get to do it better. Now we get to be more of who we really are. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, anyone in the human body is still at some level going to have to deal with the polarity games of, well, if this exists, the opposite exists. If you're a Trump supporter, there's going to be someone that says, I don't like Trump and you shouldn't be voting anyway. All that shit's going to be there automatically. That's what this world is. It's there to reflect all the different angles so that you can see more of your big picture from your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be dissent amongst anyone. You know what I mean? Most people that are going to be a part of this, they're going to be able to understand and be unified in a simple way. They know that they are more and more than what anyone else can tell them that they are. It's really as simple as that. And then being able to enjoy being more and more of yourself. That's another way.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's just another way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? However you choose to express your energy, you can decide if you're going to stay stagnant in a certain area and only express it that particular way, or if you're going to continue to become more and more, because that's really still what it comes down to. It's an ever expanding estate. It is a vast estate. And your energy state of mind will decide if it's going to become more and more, or if it's going to stagnate and that vibration lower because it's staying stagnant. It's not becoming more and more left, more right. Vibration is up, down, left, right. It can go in any direction at any given time. And that is still putting it on the circle. That's still squaring it. You don't have to be super into cosmology. You don't have to be super into tarot. You might get it for yourself by watching Bruce Leroy in The Last Dragon, or you know what I'm saying. Um, it's more fun than people realize it is, and that's one of the things that I'm personally going to be bringing to the table is just um, trying to showcase that once again we can have more fun with this. We
Right.
can make the double entendres. I'm Mr. Mo Fun. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, we know Mr. Murr, the owl symbology on the walls of Kemet, and this, that, and the third. More means Lord of the Earth and all that. But we're gonna make it be more fun and practical. You know what I'm saying? Can you mix your spirits and balance them again? You know what I'm saying? Talking about liquor, you know, spirits. Can you mix your liquors and spirits and rebalance the energy within it? Versus most of the liquors and spirits have been unbalanced for a reason, so that they would cause unbalance when they're ingested. It don't mean that you can't ingest it. It just means, do
Right.
you know your energy? Do you know yourself? Can you make that work for you so that you can get into the mental state of mind, into the E state? Or are you locked out of the E state that you want to be in? Because it's your energy state. It's unlocked with your mental mind, with your spirit consciousness. Your spirit is just the movement of your energies. So if we're getting overtaken by spirits, if there's spirit possessions, if there's walk-ins, you know what I'm saying? It's not some big boogeyman. It's not a big boogeyman. It's a lower level spirit than you, and you're still the one in control of the body. You're the Moor. You're the Lord of the Earth. You're the high priest or priestess of Anu, which means melanin, which means crossing the threshold of death because you're an immortal. You can go between the different worlds. It means all these things, and it doesn't mean that everybody is ready for every metaphysical, you know, concept. But it still just comes down to you are more and more than what you think you are currently. You are rebuilding your mind. You are reconnecting what was once dismembered. You know what I'm saying? What came down into this earth, into this physical realm, is your consciousness, and you are moored in the physical realm until you drop the body, be the high priest of Anu that's further remembering themselves, go through the melanin, and exit back out the matrix, the video game, the whatever you want to call it. We're here to have more fun with our peoples, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we always did. We always did, you know, uh we could say nigga shit, but we know that even for some people they can't get jiggy with that angle of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So we can say when we were poor, we still had everything. We had the spirit energy. We could sit on the porch. We could eat
Right.
sardines. We could fix up a meal out of nothing. We've always done this, and it still came through the melanin. You know what I'm saying? And that is why some people are still okay, or in a position where they're like, no, I still identify with the darkness, the black. You see what I'm saying? It's not to just undermine everything and try to, correct people. It's like, okay, if you get it from that angle, what other angles can you get it from? You see what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's all about you and how you see things, how you approach things. You know what I'm saying? And certain aspects get learned at higher levels of self. So it's not a competition. It's not a somebody else needs to do just like I do it, or else they're not doing it right. It's that's what you would call um, dogma and morals, which is still programming. It's telling you only if you come from this angle in this culture will you be accepted, versus you're the only one that has to understand it. Does not require other people to understand it. You see what I'm saying? We've had many people who knew they were Moors but still choose to act a certain way. And even those people, some of them have souls and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing for their soul mission. Saying we don't have to like it. We don't have to like it. It doesn't have to be perfect in our world. You just have to control your own world a little bit more so that, oh, what Lady Gaga does not really matter and affect you. Because if what Lady Gaga does really affects you, and we switch out Lady Gaga for Martin Luther King or whomever, you know what I'm saying? Then you're still at a certain simple level, you're still choosing your position only relative to how other people are doing something. That doesn't sound like I self law and master to me. That doesn't sound like understanding astrology, you know what I'm saying, or cosmology to understand your own position and to understand where you're coming from and where you're choosing to take yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's not understanding. That's not understanding your natal chart. That's not understanding your own patterns of thinking and commanding your own estate and being sovereign. So when they make fun of people as, oh, sovereign this or sovereign that, sure, you can show them Supreme Court rulings that talk about sovereignty all day. But if you cannot exercise and be sovereignty, if you can't mentally be where you want to be or be who you are, someone else is going to assign you a role and give you a label, give you a war name, a nom de guerre. They're going to make you, so called, make you feel some kind of way. They're going to make you, label you, and account for you how they see fit. And we know that a lot of our people aren't necessarily at the position where they can be that type of mentality, you know what I'm saying, of sovereign power. You know what I'm saying? But many of us were absolutely all for it. And that's another aspect of what we hear at More and More, and everyone that comes through as a part of being Moors, that's what we're doing. We're bringing, command of ourselves to the forefront, and that by nature, that by everything that we stand for, being that we are in the earth but not of the earth, or that we are beyond just being normal, of the clay human beings, mammals, animals. We have a more universal connection, and everybody knows universe, one song of soul, one song, songs, music, taming the savage beast, lower nature. Like we know these things. You know what I'm saying? We can act all we want to, but other people know these things. And the more that we can just share with each other in simplicity, and not necessarily have to encroach on each other, or be able to be just who we are and not catch feelings of being encroached upon, that's when we regain everything. That's when we retain sovereignty. That's where sovereignty is not being taken from you by a corporate entity trying to trick you with lies, deceits, illusions, holograms, and shit like that. Because we know people are used to now watching TV and video games and all the physical worldly stuff, but knowing that, oh, those are simple illusions, everything outside of you is still just a movement of energy that looks one way, but it is something completely different than just, you know, watching a TV program or a movie or streaming something. That's a bunch of light coming to you. How do you want to use this energy? You want to laugh with it? You know what I'm saying? Or do you want to let it kind of tell you what to do? You know what I'm saying? That's still where all of this is going towards. So even as we, express these things, and then we know that we're going to turn around and showcase them in different manners and edit, chop it up to be more conducive to people being able to enjoy it or connect with it. All of this stuff becomes mad simple. So let's definitely look at bringing out some of the things that were our aha moments. You know what I'm saying? Bringing out certain uh, reference points that we found helpful. You know what I'm saying? Because the more that we can just share like that and have fun with it, make a joke, have comedy skits, share music, whatever, people will get out of it what they need. And more they will be able to expand upon their own version of it. And I think that's the other aspect of, this being a a portal. You know what I'm saying? More and more is a portal. Every time someone deals with something, an event, a podcast, a meme that more and more puts out, hey, this is a portal. You can jump through this thing and make your world that much better, enjoy your world that much more in this moment. You know what I'm saying? So for me, my rum just came to my mind. There's nothing immoral about that. Why? Because I'm taking the concept of the rum and I'm knowing what I'm going to do with it. I know it's a symbol for me. So I don't have to, look at it as a bad thing. I can look at it for what my intentions are. I can control myself in my higher and lower nature, and I can have my higher self bless that concept. I can have that I can have my higher self put some bliss on that joint. You know what I'm saying? For those that would look blessed and say, oh, shedding of blood or whatever. Cool. It's bliss. We understand that. You know what I mean? We don't have to be technical all the time, but we do have to understand ourselves and what the symbology really meant, not just what someone else gave the symbol to mean, and gave it to us. We still control all the symbols, and they do help us to uh, take it there and make it do what it do. It still is you using your resources from your vast estate, no matter what the physical object is or the circumstances.
Indeed, family. Still there?
Yeah, looks like we got another guest or two. Our guest, holla at us.
It's still only showing two people to me.
Yeah, I can see more. I can see like the guests that are there, but they're
How
not
many total?
necessarily. Right now, it's just the four.
Okay.
Like I said, the way I'm looking at this is all of this is just, little draft pieces that we can go back in. And like I said, you might have 5 seconds of you saying something, and we might just pull that 5 seconds out, put an image behind it, and then make it into a little video clip that you can throw on YouTube or throw on Instagram and start highlighting what more and more is. You know what I'm saying? Giving them a little a snippet of it where maybe we were laughing or talking about something so that they're starting to pick up the vibe. You know what I'm saying? And you have content to work with on an IG story or an IG post. You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
Surprised Ari didn't jump on. I thought
I think he
he had
did
said,
brief. I thought he did briefly.
yeah, I think he did too. I saw a 404 joint. He must have been in a position. Hold on, I'm gonna mute you. I got a call coming in. Jump in and talk about whatever you want.
This thing say session expired. Asking me to log in. I'm gonna stay on as long as I can. I don't know if it's gonna do anything. But just a heads up. You said you open up the floor for anybody want to talk about anything. I guess that means yes. Um, Anybody, you know, clock is ticking. Sunday, probably do it tomorrow this week. Uh, so it's not overload everybody with being on the phone all day and being, talking about this all day. Probably push it to Q&A Saturday. So questions, stay close at any soul. Khalid EL. But yeah, nationalized. We need hosts. So again, and or someone that can get you in touch with us, however you got here, and see what we can do. See if you a fit. We want to make this a syndicated thing across of course, this nation, hosts in every city. So, like I said, reach out if you'd like to be a part of the show in whatever respective city you are in. That's all I got.
All right, I gotta get ready to jump on another call myself. I made you a moderator so you can, like I said, if you want to, you can, do another take of you saying the same thing. Like I said, it's just the same way that dudes used to on the voicemail to do shout outs and then just grab the shit from the voicemail and edit it and put it on the album or whatever. So, like I said, you can stay on. I'm about to drop off. You're the moderator. So once it ends, you know what I'm saying. From there, uh, it'll have recorded everything, or we can just end right now. And like I said, I can get
Okay.
all that shit to you.
Unless there's anybody else in here, that want to talk, I'll probably be dropping off as well. I got my mentees hitting me up about these properties that we're trying to flip. So um, I really need to talk to them. But yeah, if anybody's still in here, I'll stick around for a little bit.
Yeah,
And then when it makes me the moderator, if it shows me that, yeah, that's cool.
yeah, there's nobody else in here talking, so we can just go ahead and drop, and then I'll get you the
Okay.
the audio. link where you can just download it all.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, bet.